Today's guest is proof that it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Welcome, my friends, to another episode of Sprinkle Happiness. My guest today left everything familiar behind, including a thriving career in real estate, to start over in the US. As a single mom, she rebuilt her life and created a successful career in one of the world's most competitive real estate markets, West Palm Beach, Florida. Elisa McMahon. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. It was a very glamorous introduction there.
Oh my gosh, we have so much to learn from you. And it's
Thank you.
really not a story about selling homes today. It is more about your resilience and you taking an uncomfortable action. And I want to
Yes.
learn more. What was going on in your mind when you boarded that plane?
I've been on 29 flights in 7 months as part of this journey. Um, I think the thing is, from boarding the plane, it was like relief and excitement because it was a process of it was a 12 month process, like actually making the decision. And it was interesting. I was telling the story the other day, and I just built a beautiful home, which I still own in Australia. So I'd built like my dream home. I actually approached by quite a large franchise in Australia, and they were like, we want you to take this office over. It's in this really famous street that I'd always wanted to have an office in. And it was basically like everything was showing up. And I was like, do you know what? This is actually not what I want. I want to move to America. And people say like what was the reason why? And it was a culmination of 20 different, like, if you had a week, I could tell you all the reasons, but it was largely about growth, and it was largely about going to the next level for myself, but also making sure that I was in the right environment where I was really supported on that journey for that next chapter as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it
My
wasn't, yeah, definitely wasn't easy, that's for sure. And that decision, like, there was quite a few times where I was like, what are you doing? Like, is this the right thing? I remember arriving, and this is actually quite a funny story. I remember arriving, and my son and I, we were staying in this like Airbnb in West Palm Beach, and it was just completely different to my beautiful home that I'd left. And like got rid of all my furniture, just cleansed the house. It was so good. It was really, yeah, it was beautiful. It was healing actually, but it was really interesting. Like we got to West Palm Beach, and we arrived with the bags, and it was like we're here. And I got quite sick, and so the first week I was like trying to get better. And I remember at one point thinking, what the hell have I done? I've dragged my 14-year-old child over here. I don't really know. Like, I've got a few friends, but I don't really know anyone. But yeah, I just knew the vision. And I think, I was lucky that I'd done a lot of things before that were challenging, that I was like, right, this is just a little moment. Be really kind to yourself, be really supportive, and we'll just take one step at a time. So yeah, really loving myself like the whole time.
amazing. Amazing. And I
Yeah.
can only imagine the uncertainty and the excitement at the same time. And I really believe, Elisa, that the move was less about changing continents and really the excitement about stepping into your higher self, being ready for the next chapter of your life
Yeah.
because you were so ready for something different, something new. Like it's
Yeah.
not easy to leave a thriving career behind. It's not like you
Yeah.
were
I
struggling.
Seven-figure business. I was really like built a team, was doing very well, like, and could have easily taken it to the next level. But it was really interesting. It was like I remember sitting down and doing a meditation one day at home, and there was just like this voice in my head, and it was like, get to America, get to America. And then now I'm here. I understand why. Like I was ready for the next level. Like at UPW, about 11 years ago, Unleash the Power Within with Tony Robbins. I had this big thing and I was like, I want to be a CEO. Like I want to, you know, uh, I guess be a leader of change for women. I mean, I saw something the other day, for ultra high net worth individuals, and 90% of men and 10% of women. And I've been really successful at creating my own wealth. And I was like, I want to show other women that it's possible, that it, yeah, like I always get a little bit emotional talking about this. Like, it doesn't matter where you come from. Like, the importance is that if you believe in yourself, and there are people that believe in you, even if you're struggling, but like, and that's like the Tony Robbins community. There's so many beautiful people in that community that believe in me if I'm maybe struggling a little bit. And I just wanted to have a greater impact and I wanted to have a lasting legacy. But I also wanted to show my son that, like, you can achieve anything you set your mind to, sort of thing. And the other thing, quite interesting, and I love your title, by the way, Sprinkle Happiness. Like, what a beautiful, beautiful title.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you. It's
I,
like pretty much impact, right? You are
I love
sprinkling
it.
your happiness.
Oh, I like it.
You're
So
woven.
beautiful,
Yeah.
feminine. It's gorgeous. And what I was going to say to you, and that was the thing. Like I was making the best of a situation in Brisbane. Like I was finding the positive, but I wasn't truly happy. Like it wasn't actually what I wanted. Like I always knew I would live overseas somewhere. I just felt it in my heart.
Mhm.
And and like the trip was just about like, well, what does Elisa, the change was really about, well, what does Elisa want? What will make Elisa happy? Like I'd spent 14 years of my son's life putting him first,
Yeah.
putting myself first, but largely putting him first as well. And I just said to him, I remember at one point, he said, why are we going? And I said, number one, I think it's really good. Like, one of the things is I think it's going to be really good for you, but also it's what I want. Like, it's going to make me happy. And and interestingly enough, like we went back to Australia recently and then came back here, and he was just like, like I could just sense the change in him, that it was also the right thing for him, because he was just so much happier when we got back to the States compared to going back to Australia briefly. He enjoyed it. But as soon as we walked into our apartment, he was like chatting, and I was like, yes, you made the right call for both of us, Elisa.
Wow. Wow. So you built all of this as a single mom.
Yeah.
And I know what kind of mom you are. You're like very attentive, like your child still comes first. How did you
Yes.
manage to build an empire and kind of replicating? You are replicating from scratch your business success from Australia in the US.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Um, how do I do that? One foot in front of the other, one little action each day. I think the thing is, for me, for this time around, I have been like in Australia, I was so used to doing everything myself and just taking everything on and being very like task orientated and achievement orientated back in Australia, which, I still understand that I have to do tasks here, but it's also realizing that there are actually some things that I need to let go of. And if I want to
Mm,
have the impact and if I want to scale, like the success I created for myself, if I want to scale and help other real estate agents create that success,
mm,
then I need to let go of some things. And that's actually been one of the most empowering things, is really trusting other qualified people to do their job. Like I've got a
mm,
full operations team for the business. I've got, as you just helped me, a beautiful operations assistant that also works with me. And so, really giving them, like empowering them and saying, okay, no, this is your responsibility. I've got to look after this area, but I really need you to be accountable for this area, for your responsibilities. And so, what I've learned over the time as well is, the importance of, I guess, understanding and explaining to the family, hey, the next few weeks I'm going to have to focus on business, explaining to my son, the next few weeks, mum's going to have to just focus in on business for a bit and then we'll have some time together. But then also making sure there's those quality pockets. Like
Yeah.
even from when my son was like little, I just worked out it was better for me to have 2 quality hours of being fully present with him per day. So going to work, coming home, being present with him for 2 hours versus being at home with him all day and being on my phone or,
Yes. Totally
watching
agree with you.
TV, watching soap shows or, whatever. Like, and I've got a beautiful relationship with him. I mean, any relationship has its ups and downs. But yeah, we've got a really strong bond and the unconditional love is there. And yeah, and we make each other laugh. Like I was thinking the other day, I was thinking, whoever comes into our family, at least they're going to have a good time.
Right. Amazing. I don't know how
Yeah.
you juggle it, but there are so many single moms out there, Elisa,
Yeah.
struggling to
Yeah.
make ends meet. What is one of the biggest tips you would give him, like to kind of prioritize your child, but also take care of yourself?
Yeah, I think, well, not I think, like what I wrote about this in the book, and when I got to the section on career, I said, there's going to be points in your journey as a single mum where, sometimes you might be like, right, the children are the priority, and I've got to take a little bit of a step back from my career, or I've got to go into this job where it's probably not ideal, but at least it gives me consistency of income for a period. But I fully acknowledge and accept that that doesn't have to be that way forever. I can still have my vision of what I'm working towards. It's maybe just for right now. So, like, I remember the first time I went out to be a real estate agent, and it was like, it's full on because it's a bit of a, like, not a bit of, it's a big roller coaster adjustment going from salary to commission only. And like I struggled for the first 12 months. And so I actually took
Mm.
a step back. I went and got a job with a consistent income, which just allowed me to give some stability. And then it was basically about really refining my craft and my skills so that when I went out again, I had that confidence in behind me that I needed, like that personal growth in behind me to
Mm.
take that step. But I think that's the thing, like just accepting sometimes, okay, this is where I am right now, but it doesn't have to be forever. I'm gonna run this for 3 months, and then we'll see what else. But also, I think coming back to it too, Nevriye, like I think in terms of you've got to have some quality time for yourself. And I say in the book
Yes.
too, like even if it's getting up before everybody wakes up, going and
Yes.
sitting out, like you don't have to have a full morning routine. Just go outside and sit outside for 20 minutes and have a coffee or a cup of tea
Yes.
and
Amen to
enjoy
that.
that time on your own and enjoy being present for yourself. Like I think that was the thing I was really, and I got frustrated too because I was like, there's no help for single mums. Like where is the single mums that are working and that sort of stuff? Like I just felt there wasn't that, I don't know, support on all fronts.
Yeah.
And that's why I obviously got a bit cranky. And then I wrote the book because I was like, these women need help. And
Yeah.
yeah, but I think that thing is like really making time for yourself
I
and
totally believe in that.
yeah,
That life
cherish.
is not selfish. It is actually selfish not to take care of yourself because it's the energy that you run your show with, your life with, the energy you bring to your family, to your clients, because you're just running from empty, trying to
Yeah,
pour from an empty cup. It never turns out good. I
no,
totally believe that yeah, I'm so like, I need a couple hours every day, like flow, the biggest luxury, and I say it proudly in my life is not to have an alarm clock. I get up when my body wants to get up.
that's beautiful.
And in my
I would
early
like a bit
life,
more of that.
I used to get up at 5 a.m. to go to CrossFit. That was like 5, 6 years ago. But at this time of my life, it wants to slow down. It doesn't want to do a heavy
Yeah,
CrossFit and weightlifting. It wants to do yoga and stretching. And I listen to that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I think that listening to your body, listening to your intuition, like I remember doing a little video about 18 months ago, and I was trying to make a decision on something. And I thought, why are you talking to other people, Elisa? Like, you know the right decision for you. And I think that's the thing for a lot
Mm.
of women. We sometimes we seek approval instead of just um, yeah, trusting ourselves that we know what is right for us and then having the confidence and conviction to follow through on that, regardless of what anybody says. I think that's a really important lesson I learned as a single mum.
Yeah. You know what? That you just hit the nail in the head. I do that a lot too, and I'm very aware of it. That we sometimes override our gut instinct
Hmm.
for and then seek the approval of others, of our coaches, and it may not
Yes,
align. We
that's
listen to
right.
others more than we listen to our gut instinct. That's a lesson for us right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I remember,
How?
I'll just tell you a little story on that. I
Yes.
remember once following someone's advice, and it was a friend or someone, and I followed their advice, and it didn't work out. And then I got really cranky at them. And I was like, well, hang on, Elisa, you're the one that followed it. And so I was like, well, what would I have done in that situation? And it was totally different. And I was like, I should have just done what I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, not,
Yeah.
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 Anyway, but it's all about learning, isn't it? So,
It's
and being
all about
really
learning
kind to
and
yourself.
being aware of your patterns,
Yes,
and just listening to your gut, and it knows. Sometimes your soul knows the
yes.
way. But I'm really curious how your life changed since you moved.
Oh my
How
gosh.
have you changed
How have
since you
I
moved?
changed?
Yeah.
This has literally been the biggest transformation for me, identity upgrade, whatever you want to call it. Um, but if you think like 10 years compressed into 6 months, I feel like, and it was interesting, somebody posted, I think it was Lewis Howes posted the other day about, if you want to be like move cities. And I thought, gosh, like it just, and I remember when I moved to the UK about 18 years ago, a similar thing happened where, because it's like you can leave behind what wasn't working for you and you just make a decision. You go, this is what I'm stepping in at, and this is what I am. And I know I can do this. And even if I feel a bit scared, I'm going to move forward anyway and like have that courage. And yeah, like I've just had the best it's not necessarily always been like, it's been a little bit messy sometimes.
Oh my gosh, I can so relate. I did what you did like 26 years ago. I was born and raised in Germany. I was a former
Yeah,
banker, and I
yeah,
hated it. I hated the corporate world, and I now can look back and say, gosh, leaving everything behind, it's the scariest, but the best decision of my life.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the thing is as well, like with anything, you can't let in the new if you're holding on to the old, right? And
Mhm.
I've even noticed that with some of the Australian business that I'm literally just letting go of now. But even that, I still was holding on to it. And the other day I went, this is
Yeah.
not like, just let it go, Elisa. Like it's actually okay. And then when you let that go, like all this beautiful stuff, even this more stuff comes in, you're like, oh, I didn't even have to do anything really for that. Like I just had to let that go and then the universe delivered. So yeah, that might be
Wow.
a little bit woo-woo for some people, but I've become very spiritual, like in the last 10 years in particular.
But did your spirituality and your journey into it kind of change since you moved?
It's definitely deepened. Like they say for women in particular, like they're sort of mid 30s, 40s, they start to really embark on this spiritual journey. I remember reading that somewhere. And for me, it was certainly like when my mum passed away, I really sort of thought, oh my goodness, like I realized that life was so fragile. But I also just felt there was something more. I felt called for something more as well, particularly at that point.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but my spirituality now, like alignment, like I'm all about alignment at the moment. Like, well, not at the moment. I think I'll forever be about alignment now, but
Yeah.
it's interesting how powerful that is.
Yeah. But
Alignment,
yeah.
like align and setting boundaries and knowing your worth and yeah, like the alignment piece, like just making decisions that are right for you. And sometimes we do need a little bit of guidance from up above. But it's also realizing that you have that higher power in you. Like
Mm,
everybody has it.
right.
Everybody.
I totally agree. And the notion that you have to leave parts and pieces of you behind to tap into the next and higher version of you. Is
You
there something that you can name that you had to leave behind outside of just the building your house?
people pleasing.
People pleasing, yes, yes. Knowing your
Feeling comfortable with saying, actually, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I have other priorities. Like that people pleasing piece. I don't know where I think a lot of people fall prey to it, and a lot of people fall prey to it without realizing. And if you can become conscious of it like that, yeah. And it's not letting people down. Like when you make
yeah,
yourself happy, you're being an example of how others can make themselves happy too, right?
right.
And that's the biggest thing I've learned in my personal development journey in the last 10 years. And it really happened when I became a single mum. So I always treat that as a very special gift for me when I became a single mum, because I realized that I'm responsible for my happiness. Like it's not the boyfriend or when I've had a boyfriend in the past, it's not his responsibility to make me happy. It's not my son's responsibility to make me happy. It's not Tony Robbins' responsibility to make me happy.
Yeah,
Like it's on me. And
yes,
that's also really empowering too, right? Because you can actually, so when I learned that, I was like, well, hang on, I can make these decisions. I'm not a victim of my circumstances. Where are other single women that have, you know, become really successful? Like, who can I look to as an example? That are in a beautiful, intimate relationship and have been a single mom and da 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 da, and look for those examples and then go, well, if they've had it, I can have it too, and I deserve it, just because
yes.
it's not like there's abundance for everybody here.
Oh my gosh, that's such a big lesson right there. If others can do it, I can too. And sometimes we feel like we don't have the skills and we don't trust ourselves. But boy, that people pleaser, every time we try to please somebody else and make somebody happy, we let ourselves down, right? When our guts wants to say
100.
no and we say yes, we let ourselves down. And I fall
Yeah,
into that trap too. I'm practicing, I'm getting better.
that's great.
And I
That's all
think
you
it,
can ask.
yeah, but it's all about how you say it too, right? It's not like, hey, it has nothing against you. I have other priorities. I like how you said it. I have other priorities right now. And without feeling guilty about it. God
That's
damn it.
right. And the thing is, you don't have to take responsibility for how that person responds. That's their responsibility. If you've been kind and communicated, I mean, I remember at first couple of times I was like so unaware of how to do it. I was really abrupt and rude. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh God, we need to soften this a little bit, Elisa, which I did learn over time. So, but you can't beat yourself up about that. You're learning something new. It's like if you're learning to ride a bike, right? Like you're not going to be good to start off if you've never ridden a bike before. So you just got to, I think that's the thing as well, is really, really loving yourself, like
Yeah.
unconditionally. Like that's what I wanted to communicate to in the book for single moms. Like I don't,
Intentional radiance for everybody that wants to get it, please. It's amazing. Intentional
yeah,
radiance, right?
yeah, yeah. So really loving it regardless of whatever, I don't care, whatever your mistakes, like you deserve that unconditional love for yourself. Yeah,
Mm.
it's
I think
beautiful.
one of the biggest helps, I'm not sure if you can relate, is having a community that you already know. Like you in West Palm, there are a lot of Tony Robbins Platinum partners. And did you feel supported? Like you felt like you are coming into an environment where you don't have to really start from scratch, trying to make friends. People already know each other from the virtual world, from Tony events. How was your experience?
Well, I think that was one of the reasons
Yeah.
because it was really interesting. I became a platinum partner. I joined and I was, you know, communicating with people and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, all my friends are like from America.
Yes.
And they're sitting there telling me, go for it. Like when I stood up and did a public declaration and said I'm moving to America, they were all like, yeah, let's
Mhm.
go.
Yes.
And it was interesting. I kept it really private from everybody in Australia. I didn't tell anybody. I told one of my best friends in Australia, I told her, and I told nobody else because when I did start telling people what I was doing, it was really interesting how like some of the negative comments came out, and that might have actually slowed me down or stopped me. But yeah, like the Tony Robbins, like that, it was just, and I was like, I want to be around more of this. I want to, you know, who you surround yourself with is who you become. And I
Absolutely.
just thought I want to be really intentional with being around people who uplift and support me, but also say to me, hey, Elisa, like, you know, like they'll tell you how it is too, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no judgment. No judgment. How good is it to be in a community where there's no judgment?
But you know
Everybody,
what? I was called crazy like 26 years ago for leaving a really lucrative banking career behind. But my apartments, I had nothing. And everybody was looking for a job like that. And I was like, I'm done. It's not how I want to live my life. And I saw people living around me, like working around me that were there like
mm,
20, 30 years celebrating
yeah,
their anniversaries and scared me. I'm like, this is not how I see myself live my life, like in a cubicle, in a box. And people tell me when I get to go on a vacation and when I got to go show up and go home, I'm like, no, this 9 to 5 is not working for me. I kind of rebelled against that. And
yeah,
you know what? Not listening at that young age to anybody, I was like, gosh, so scary to start over. But gosh, there's nothing good coming out of your not staying in your comfort zone. If you want to make big, bold actions in your life, you got to get outside the known because everything in your known is your bubble. There is no growth, there's
yes,
nothing. You already know it.
yes, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. And like, I remember you telling me the story, and I was like, oh, I love this woman already. Like, you told me about how and there was no AI, there was none of that to help you when you made the move. Like,
Nothing,
I was
nothing.
lucky. I had AI and ChatGPT to help me with everything. But
Yes, I
there
remember
is,
going through the phone book. You remember those big yellow phone
yeah.
books that where people are listed? I was going from A to Z looking for any familiar names. I was looking like maybe there is somebody in a Turkish descent that I can have a coffee with. It eventually at the very end, I think why I found somebody that I called, and then I met somebody, and I met like these amazing people that had a restaurant close by where I could just go and hang out, and it was amazing. It was
Yeah.
challenging. It was a journey of resilience for sure. Very similar to yours, Elisa. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I know we have that little camaraderie between us, don't we? I like that.
And what's next for you? Share with me.
So what's next is, well, it's just working on the legacy piece, like working on the business. I'm in acquisition mode right now, so I'm having a lot of serious conversations. Yeah, just building my networks and taking those brave steps. And it was really interesting. Like I was um, doing some work the other day. I was thinking about, like this and doing, and it is somewhat new because I'm really stepping into a leadership role. And then I was doing a little bit of research and talking to ChatGPT actually, and it was like, well, when you launched that $220 million development, you hadn't done that before. And it was a market leading project. And I think that's the thing. Like, it's just like I'm really loving trying new things, different things, and just expand. Like, the expansion is phenomenal. So, and especially on the business front, like there is so much. America is literally the best country in the world. If you want to build wealth, like it is the perfect playground for that. And yeah, like I love it. I love America. I think it's amazing. Clearly, I
In
live
terms
here.
of work and
My
real.
son's like, he's like, Mom, you're not American. I'm like, I know, but I will be one day. I don't
Or
know.
you
I'll
always
be,
Monday. I mean, what's the difference? You live here, you're part of it, you're contributing, you're making people
yeah.
happy, find their dream homes. Is the
Yeah.
work environment different than what you used to in Australia?
Um, I think it's more open and, well, collaborative, but also, I don't know, I just find the people amazingly friendly. Like, I talk to people walking down Harry's like, you talk to everybody. And I'm like, yeah, but they talk to me. Like, everybody just, I don't know, I find it incredibly supportive.
Yeah.
And from having lived in the UK as well, I didn't find that. Like, I think that's a really beautiful thing about America and having so many cultures here and it's diverse. I don't know, it's just open. Like, I feel like it's really open and growth orientated. Like, I was in a part of Florida the other day and the people I were meeting with, they said, oh, Elisa, this wasn't here 10 years ago. And I was looking outside and there was this fabulous planned community. And I'm like, that's what I love, like the growth. So I
Yeah.
think America's, yeah, I just love that they're all about growth.
Oh, wow. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And we have the authors of Impact coming up in a couple weeks.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we'd
Very
love to
excited
have
for that.
everybody over to support and get one of Elisa's signed books,
Yes,
Intentional Radiance. I can't wait to get mine. I don't have one yet.
absolutely.
Are you ready to do some rapid fire lightning round where I say a word and you complete with the first thing that comes to mind?
Sure. Absolutely. I love
Okay.
trying new things.
Okay. Happiness is,
A daily practice.
I love it. So true. 1,000,000%. Success is,
Achieving your dreams and being happy with the journey.
money is,
Fantastic.
yes,
I
yes.
love money. Money loves me, and I'm not embarrassed about that. I think, yeah, money's amazing. It
It's
helps you. It gives you freedom.
energy. Yes, it's resource, it's energy. To me, money is comfort. I can't have a comfortable life without,
Absolutely.
yeah. Courage is,
Feeling the fear and doing it anyway.
oh my God.
Very famous
Well,
book by Susan Jeffers. It was the
I
first
love
book
it.
I ever read on my personal development journey. That I used to have quite a bit of anxiety. That book changed my life.
Say it again. Which
Phenomenal.
title?
Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. She passed away I think about 10 years ago or something. But yeah,
Mm,
phenomenal, phenomenal book. Very
love it.
easy read too, like not intense. So if you're starting on the journey or you just want a little bit of help, it's a really it's an easy to read book.
One advice I would give to my younger self is,
Oh, know your worth. Well, don't bloody settle. My
oh my,
goodness, don't
yeah,
ever settle.
you
And know
know,
your worth. Like, I know we talk about it a lot, but it is like, yeah, know your worth and you are worthy and you deserve what you want, but you also need to become, what you want to receive as well, if that makes sense.
yeah, I love that you said that. Know your worth, and
Yeah,
for almost 40 years plus, I let other people. I take full responsibility. Gave other
yeah.
people permission to put me in a box, and I made them determine my worth. And boy, did my life change whenever I decided, I am the master. I am the author of my own story.
That's awesome. And you threw it in the bin. Like you threw
Yeah,
that, you're like, get rid of that.
get
See,
rid
and
of
that,
that.
you said 40 years was at Nevriye.
Probably more than that. My mom, my poor mom, was a very hard worker, and
Yeah.
I don't share this very often. She experienced, well, her marriage was through abduction. My mother was kidnapped by my father. She never had a voice. She never could determine her own destiny. And we were raised as to be a submissive housewife. And I was just kind of rebelling every piece of my body. Didn't want to live that way because I was all about growth and expanding. But it was not easy to live in an environment where you're not encouraged and where you kind of have to. It's hard. It took me years to find my voice because I had no role models in my immediate environment.
Yeah. Yeah. But what a beautiful story of someone who was like, even though that's my circumstances, I'm going to be different. And giving up and finding and that point, like that's just proof that it doesn't matter. You can start at any point in time, right?
Yeah. So, my parents tried hard to teach me how to cook properly. All my sisters are amazing cooks. I hate cooking. Me and housewife, I just can't. It's not in my nature. I have a housekeeper coming, thank God, every week or two.
Oh,
Cook Uber Eats is my chef.
that's my goal. I'm like, next is a driver and a housekeeper.
Yes. I mean, there's always another level. And you know what?
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm like, I totally deserve that. I work hard.
Yes, you work so hard for it, and you can do whatever you want to do
That's
with
all
the
right.
money and the wealth you're generating because I know it's
Absolutely.
not coming easy.
Absolutely.
A couple more before I let you
Yes.
go. Every woman should know this is.
Step into your power.
Mm.
And step into your power, and also there's enough for, like, we need to support each other. There's no need to compete. There's enough for everything. There's enough men, there's enough work, there's enough everything for all of us to have what we want. Like,
Oh my.
I think more as a community group together, we need to support and uplift each other more. Some
Oh
women
my.
won't like me saying that, but I think it's the truth.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm so glad you're highlighting that. And many times we see a lot of competition out there, as if in the quantum field, there's only limited resources, and we feel like if we just we're holding on to information that could serve others sometimes.
Yeah.
And from that state of mind, we are losing as much as other people are losing. We
Yeah.
win together by supporting each other.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, like, I've definitely had those moments where I've felt a bit insecure or what have you. But I think when you can get to the point where you realize there's enough for everybody and what is meant for you will never pass you by, right? Like, and I just think there's so much more power in collaboration. Like, that's what I've really learned. So,
Yeah.
And me becoming that way and being a little bit insecure was probably more because of the environment I was in and the people I was surrounding. And it was interesting when I came to the Tony Robbins community, like it was just like all these amazing women were like, how can we help you? And I was like, oh, this is beautiful. So
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I want to help more women as well. Like I want to share everything I've learned. And if I can speed it up for them, well, how awesome is that? So,
Yeah.
make the world a beautiful place, wouldn't it?
Yes. And if anybody out there listening is in real estate and you're looking for a world class real estate coach, hey, she is the one. Because I really believe in the power of having a coach. I lost count how many I had in the past 5, 6 years, but it helped me grow more than the prior 40 years of my life. Like it
Yeah,
speeds, accelerates your success. Like you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just
100%.
follow in the footsteps of others. And right?
Especially like I've noticed with fitness, like I'm taking their like 20 years of experience and compressing it into 3 months, right? Like,
Mm,
yeah, that's what I want. That's what I was becoming like with going down that coaching path. It was like it took me 10 years to learn this. I can help these people accelerate and like get results in 3 months. Like, how
right.
good is that?
Yes, I have friends in real estate. A lot of them are hurting and feel kind of very uncertain and lost and very hopeless in the moment. And I really encourage you guys just find a mentor, reach out to people that are kind of very successful in this area that are ahead of you, that are not just surviving but thriving.
Mm. And the beautiful thing about real estate is there's actually a lot of opportunity in an uncertain market, because people will always need to buy and sell property, right? Regardless of the market. So that's what I found, even in the toughest markets, by being a bit different, there was always opportunity and an ability for me to help clients and also make money too.
Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
Elisa, so grateful to have you here today. Thank you for
Oh,
all
my
your
pleasure.
wisdom. Thank you for
Beautiful. Thank you.
sprinkling your wisdom, your happiness, your impact, and into our community. And I really look
Oh,
forward to chatting with you again.
thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. I see you on another show of Sprinkle Happiness, and I see you soon.